Modern women have been praising themselves for becoming masculine, but apparently our language is just too much for them to handle. We've got a fun one for you here today from the Modern King titled Feminist Wants to Ban Manly Speech. Good luck with that one. Let's jump into it.
One of the smallest things that I have noticed that irritates me to hell regarding men.
And what are we complaining about today about men, just for the sake of complaining?
Is the way that men will call each other brother at any given chance, but you will never hear them calling a woman sister.
Some women are just nitpicking now.
And I believe that this is so frustrating.
Only for those that are jealous.
The brotherhood of being a man is so alive and well. This idea of protecting each other, caring for each other, finding friendship in each other, even with strangers. They just have to mildly smile at each other and they'll be like, hey brother, how you doing?
These women are absolutely miserable. They see men calling each other brother and see that it's a term of respect, and they just can't handle seeing it. So they just want to ban it outright, even though that will never work.
So, what's wrong with that?
I have never heard a man say anything that welcoming to a woman.
Of course. For some, it always comes back to, how can I feel slighted today?
Women are seen as inherently sexual objects. Thus, such terms would not go hand in hand, for obvious reasons.
Some will really go to almost any length to try to victimize themselves in some way, just so they can avoid being responsible for the words that come out of their mouth.
There will always be an in-crowd for them to be a part of that women will never be able to be a part of.
Yes, that is how brotherhood works. It's a group of men who respect each other. There's nothing wrong with men having things for themselves, but these women can't stand the idea of men having their own culture.
And I'm not saying it is all down to the term brother, but it is a very small indication of that.
That sounded like it was coming from a place of jealousy. So instead of trying to tear down men for the closeness that many of them have with each other, why doesn't a person try to promote the closeness of women so that a person can feel like they're part of a community that someone obviously so wants to be a part of?
We've seen modern women try to use the word bro when they're talking to other people, and it just doesn't sound right. It's an extremely masculine word that just sounds inappropriate when honestly women say it. When these accidents happen, there is a 50-50 chance that the woman will be endlessly giggling as she collides her jet ski into another guy. Just a quick reminder, guys, I have a second channel. The link is in the pinned comment. Make sure you go and check it out. Now back to the video.
Thought she could put her hands on corn-fed Fred without retaliation, and she thought absolutely wrong.
Every guy who watches that video is scratching their heads and wondering, how's that even possible? Parking a car can be a pain in the ass, sure, but it should never be that mind-boggling.
Is it normal when you go on a good date and the guy is really nice to assume that because he's nice, he's gay?
That would be this box right here. This is my relationship chart zones. I simplified this entire area here down to this, so now you have no excuse, you have to get it. What she's saying is when she goes on a date with a guy who has a lot of nice, it doesn't do anything for her. It feels gay. And when she goes on a date with a guy who has a lot of attractive, then it doesn't feel gay.
There's also the fact that these women have the worst taste in men, and those men leave her so emotionally broken that the second she meets a genuinely good guy, it feels off and she immediately loses attraction to him.
So a lot of guys do these nice things instead of being these attractive things because society told us just be nice, just be yourself. But it doesn't work. Nobody owes you for that. The way that zones works is that these things make her feel attracted to you, and these things make her feel safe with you. So very, very safe, but not very attractive, feels gay.
This is what happens when modern women set impossible standards. She's left with millions of men who either make her feel unsafe or give her the ick, and they blame us for making her feel that way.
Let's go, get in the car. Let's go, get your stuff. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, man. Hey, you can't be out here. Hey, can't be out here. Get in the car. You can't be out here. Get in the car. Get in the car.
No me vaya a tocar.
Get in the car.
No me grite. Arrésteme. No.
Hey, get in the car. Let's get your boy.
Is anybody else surprised that this whole incident took place in front of a plane owned by Spirit Airlines? There's something that just seems appropriate about that.
POV trying to hype myself up for dates with ugly hinge men because at this point, if I don't have a boyfriend soon, it will become detrimental. You're too fat to be calling men ugly.
These women think that they can get away with calling dudes ugly and just assume we'd want to spend our lives with them. They can't imagine a world where men get to choose who they let into their lives.
Yeah, stuff in all tomorrow.
You can tell that she was hoping he'd be an emotional wreck so that she could exploit the situation, but her ex is sitting there cool and calm, and she has no idea what to do with that.
Are you breaking up with me? Why?
Because I need to be done.
Why?
This place is beautiful.
I don't think it need to be done.
It's the perfect holiday.
No, why? Why?
You seriously don't think it need to be done?
No, why? What is going on?
He knows exactly why he wants to be alone, but she will never admit it. Any way that she might have wronged him will be seen as just a joke or not that big of a deal.
I'm sorry.
For what? Can you tell me why you're breaking up with me?
You have to give them both credit for not flying off the handle and having a massive blowout, but that will probably happen after the camera is turned off.
Women have turned the gym into girls going wild. Outfits so tight, backs out, and pants pulled so far up that it couldn't be comfortable. That's not gym wear, that's audition tape material. I was just at the gym and a woman was doing cable pull-throughs, bent over, and every guy purposely avoiding looking because now if you take a glance and you're considered a creep on TikTok. This isn't about fitness anymore. It's attention, validation, and it's ego. And the second they get that attention, they flip it and call the guy a creep. And men shouldn't have to feel like they're on ice in the gym because somebody wore a provocative outfit. Am I right? Do you think I'm wrong? Leave a comment.
The gym was one of the last few places a man could get away and be able to work on himself in peace, but modern women have invaded the gym and turned it into a toxic minefield where one false step could ruin that man's life. It's not right, in my opinion.
Ugly girls and created the feminism movement. I'm not gonna lie. So realistically, if you think about it, every time you are out and you see a pretty girl and she has an ugly friend with her, what does that ugly friend do? She instantly jumps into lesbian defense mode because she is an ugly Betty. The is jealous. So when you try to talk to the cute girl, the ugly friend, you just like, leave her alone. She hates men. It's like, you hate men. Back the fuck up.
It's always that friend who steps in to scare off the men, isn't it? Nobody asked her to do it, nobody wanted her to do it, and yet she's doing it anyway.
You know what I mean? And she will keep going. And you've seen videos where the cute friend will even tell the ugly friend, like, no, it's cool. And she still will be like, absolutely the f not, because she's not getting that same attention. So in the ugly girl's mind, men are evil, men are aggressive, men are everything bad because she can't get the one she wants. You know what I mean? And so she deflects that onto her cute friend. And so then you also have another subcategory. So you have ugly girls, you have built a reputation for themselves. They're sleeping around, they're collecting babies, they're collecting bodies. The just don't stop. And so after they're done living their whole life, now they're coming and looking for a man to save them, and no man is willing to save them.
There's no saving those women. 304's made it their life's work to completely destroy their lives, and then they turn around and expect men to fix everything, but you can't fix something that has been destroyed beyond all recognition.
So again, they create the same agenda. Men are evil, men are monsters, men are selfish. No, you are just two unlikable categories, and you are going to attract what you put out, which is bullshit. 24/7. So, with that being that, it just grew so big with them just constantly projecting that message over and over and over, because can be pretty. So you have girls that are pretty, but they're hoes. And so you see them being pretty and hating men, and then another girl jumps on because she's pretty and she hates men. You see an ugly girl, she's ugly and she hates men, then another ugly girl jumps on and she's ugly and she hates men, and it just keeps going.
Modern women not only carry so much hate oftentimes, they also encourage others to be just as hateful as they are. It's impossible to imagine what it must be like to live with so much, hatred like that. I don't know.
And it doesn't fucking make sense, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to compete with men until it's actually time to come down and compete. They don't want to pay their own bills. They don't want to change those tires. That's the thing. Women feel like there is a competition where men don't see us as competition. They don't give a like you can't compete with something where you don't compare. Women realistically don't do it. Like, we cook, we clean, but men can also do that.
Modern women are turning around and complaining about how hard being an adult is, even though we all warned them. They didn't want to listen to what we had to say. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.